Now that we know that how these studio is working, so what we're going to do is that we need to get started with the data. So first of all, as we are going to predict the prices on the base of other functionality of the automobile, so we'll just go out there and click on the automobile price data. So I'll simply drag it and drop it to the experiment. Once I've done that, if I right click over this, I can delete, copy, cut, paste, dataset, download, and open the notebook. So right now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to visualize that. I just click on visualize, and in a moment or so it'll just appear in front of me. There you go. So there are basically two kind of plots. Number one is for the histographic data, and number two is for the data that is more of like not having a history out there, and just it gives more of like a look of a median and the data and a 50% between the median and after the median, I would say, before and after. So if you just simply click over this, so there you're able to see that the box plot is basically giving me that the simple line out there that you're able to see. This is median, 50% of the data is below that, and 50% of the data is above that. And if I just go out there in a make, so this is more of a histographic data, and this is a histogram with a frequency and the kind of, I would say, the makes like Toyota, Nissan, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Honda, Volkswagen, Subaru, Volvo, and etc. So this is the kind of data that we actually need. But for example, if you just click right here, so this is the statistics of the data. Like mean is 122, min is 65, max is 256, standard deviation is something like this, unique value is 51. But oh, what's this? It's giving around 41 missing values, and that's quite much of the number. If we just go out there in the make, so there's 0 missing values. If we just go right in the length and the width, no one, height, curve weight, well, good enough. Just go in the drive wheels, body style, number of doors, missing values 2, that's not good. Aspiration, fuel type, again make, normal is when a lot of missing data out there. And if you just go to symboling, so it has around 0, so that's good. And what I would say is that it has around 205 rows and 26 columns. So as I told you in the previous videos, that data won't be in the form that we simply just put into maybe in an algorithm or something like that, and we just get started and boom, that's done. We need to transform the data. So right now what we're going to do is that we're going to do the same thing. We're going to transform the data according to our needs. So under the data transformation, if I just go right here in the manipulation, so there is one of like option here that is select column in the data set. So if I just go out there and drag it out there, so there is a red symbol out there which says the value is required. So what now I'm going to do is that simply right click over this, go back to the visualize, and as we have realized that one of the column is out there which is normalized losses, and what I believe is that if you remove this column, make sure you're removing or you're transforming data accordingly and you're not losing some of the really important information. So as I have learned about that, this entire column of normalized losses is something like we can skip for now. And this doesn't have to do a lot of impact on the price of the car, though the make and the other kind of thing, the fuel type or maybe number of doors has to do, but not normalized loss as much. So we can skip this. So what I'm going to do is that it needs the data. So it's super simple. Drag it and drop it. That's all you got to do. And as we are here in the column dataset, so it says that value is required. So I'll simply click on launch column selector from the properties that I told you in the basic, I would say the first session. Control A, and we are going to, sorry for this, Control A and boom, I don't know. There we go. And we're going to add this, and we're going to skip this, normalize losses, and boom, that's all we got to do. And there you go. So now what we have done is, like, let me zoom in. We have the automobile price data. We have select the columns in the data set. And now still we need to visualize that. So let's run this and see what happens. So now you'll be able to see that this is our mobile automobile price data, and this is the select column, the transformation that we have performed on our data. It's being queued, and now you see the green check mark, which is that it's been run now. Let me just go and right click over this and visualize this. So as we realized that we removed the column, and now we are having 205 rows, 25 columns, but that column is now not there. And now what we can do is that we can see that are there any missing values. So 0, 0, so 2 missing values are there. 0, 0, 0. And length, width, height, engine type, bore. So there you go. In the bore, you're able to see that there are 4 missing values. In the stroke, there are 4 missing values. So still there in the data, we are having some missing values. So what we're going to do is that we are going to replace that values, or maybe remove the rows. So we got to do something like that. So if we just go right here and drop it here, it says clean missing data. So what I'm going to do right here is that I'm going to drag it and drop it right here, launch the column selector. I believe all the columns, that's good. But now there comes the important thing, the cleaning mode. So Azure Machine Learning comes up with a lot of, I would say, aspects that you can follow, like replace using mice, or maybe custom substitution value in which you provide a substitution value, or maybe replace it with a mean, median, mod, or remove entire row or entire column, or maybe replace using probabilistic PCA, that's the algorithm written by engineers out there in Microsoft for Azure Machine Learning, and they would simply calculate the probability in respect of things, and it will replace the value of the data. But what we're gonna do is like remove the entire row, and now we're just gonna run that again once more. And once it is running, it is now queued. So there you go, you're able to see clean data set and cleaned transformation. So we're just going to use this one for now, the cleaned data set for our experiments. And there you go. Let me just right click over this and visualize. And now if we just go right here onto, what was that? Bore. There you go. So I'm having zero missing values. So now I'm having an idea about that. My data is totally fine, and now I can use it for my machine learning experiment. So this is it for this video. In the next video, we're going to do some more transformation of the data, and then we're going to move into respective algorithm, and we're going to complete the experiment and see what kind of results we're having. Till then, enjoy this video, practice it, and I hope you're liking the course.